It's showtime, baby. How are we doing? Sam here, United People's TV. It's Saturday morning. I don't normally do a stream on a Saturday morning. I normally only do Monday to Friday. But with this Raphael Varane story, it is accelerating pretty much on a daily basis that we have to keep doing these streams. It's exciting. It's wicked. Man United and Raphael Varane. At one point, we all looked at it and said, this is just another Sergio Ramos situation. But the more that the transfer has developed, the more it looks like Manchester United have a serious chance to sign Raphael Varane this summer. I didn't expect it. You didn't expect it. Not after Sergio Ramos left on a free to join PSG. But that is the situation. Updates this morning from Fabrizio Romano, from Patrick Berger, who, if you don't know, was very strong on the Sancho to United story. Maybe he's got his links now. Also from El Transistor, the radio station out in Spain. There's lots and lots to get through. Going to also speak about Eduardo Camavinga, about Jesse Lingard, about Alex Telles, about the upcoming game against Derby tomorrow after we finish talking about Raphael Varane. So it's a wicked way to start your weekend. Obviously, joining me here on the live stream. As always, you know what to do. You let me know where you're watching this from in the comments, and I'll maybe add you to the map. You have to let me know what town and what country you're watching this from, as you always do. Tons of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, as always. Throughout the stream, make sure you drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're new. And please, as always, keep firing in your comments and keep sending in your super chats. The super chats will really support the channel and help it grow. And anything I do get, I'm only going to put back into the channel to make it bigger and better. And I'll tell you what would make United's team bigger and better. Mr. Raphael Varane. So what is the story here? This is where it's starting to get really exciting. The developments are really happening. And Manchester United's bid for Raphael Varane is now imminent. Now, why is it imminent? Why has it changed? Let me explain to you what's happened overnight and why we should really now properly start getting excited about the idea of Raphael Varane joining Manchester United. It started last night with El Transistor over on the Cero. They're saying an agreement is imminent for around 50 million euros. I'll personally be surprised if it's 50 million euros. I think it's going to be a bit more, but let's see what happens. Varane will be a United player in the coming days. That's what happened there about 10:30. And then an hour later, Fabrizio Romano, he got involved. What did he say? He said, Manchester United are preparing the official bid to Real Madrid for Raphael Varane after direct talks for 4 days. Manchester United made him a contract proposal until 2026. Varane wants a Premier League experience. He'd accept if or when Manchester United and Real Madrid reach an agreement. So Fabrizio Romano there saying, look, Varane, he's agreed personal terms. I already spoke about that on the stream yesterday. But he's saying there a 5-year contract from 2021 to 2026. He wants to move to the Premier League. And Manchester United are the leading club in for him. Now, Chelsea's name is getting bandied around just like it does with every single goddamn player in the entire bloody world. I'm not really too worried about that. I think they're okay in the centre-back department, or maybe they're not. But United have... It seems like United with transfers these days, as I said, we go about it a different way. We seem to try and agree personal terms with the player, make sure the club wants to sell. It's almost like we've been burned too much in the transfer market in the last few years. And United now, we have to know a lot of things before we just go in with a bid. A lot of clubs will just go in with that bid, get it in nice and early, start negotiations from that point of view. It seems United's style of negotiations now is very different. We want to make sure that the player, Varane, wants to join. Tick. That's done. We want to make sure the club wants to sell. We know Real Madrid need to sell. Tick. We want to make sure that the personal terms are agreed. Tick. So we've boxed off quite a few things now. So the only thing that has to go in is that bid. Heading over back to the updates here from, it's not just Fabrizio Romano. As I said, this is why it's starting to get exciting. You got Patrick Berger here, who works for Sport out in Germany, saying Raphael Varane is on the verge of joining Manchester United. The 28-year-old has agreed with Manchester United on personal terms. Patrick repeating there what Fabrizio's saying, a contract until 2026. Now the clubs have to find a solution. Now Patrick here is saying probably what I agree with. Real Madrid want a bit more than 50, well, certainly more than 50 euros. 50 million euros. All parties are confident that the deal will happen soon. It's all very, very good. And then look, if you even want more positive updates, we'll head over here and we'll go to The Athletic. And what are The Athletic and David Ornstein saying about Raphael Varane? Says there seems to be an element of optimism around a transfer to Manchester United, but any deal would likely come down to how much they can lower Madrid's asking price. United are aware that the 28-year-old would like to join them, and Real Madrid are open to selling this summer, with the player available to leave next year for free. Real Madrid need to raise money this summer through sales, and that's something that I've really kept saying. This isn't the Real Madrid of old, ladies and gentlemen. Real Madrid of old didn't have to sell anybody. They could just buy whoever they want, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Luis Figo, any player in the world they wanted. They just went out and signed them, and they didn't have to care about selling players. This summer is different. Real Madrid are skint, ladies and gents. Their debts are getting recalled, and therefore they need to raise money. And he's saying here, a bid, the Spanish club would likely accept a bid of 40 to 45 million pounds. No offers have gone yet. You've got David here on the YouTube. You're saying, look, this is the way transfers are done. There's no point agreeing with Real Madrid and then the player saying no. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right there, David, but I know, maybe I'm old school. I just find it a bit strange now that all these conversations and negotiations happen with the player and his representatives directly before the club gets involved, really. For me, that seems like backwards compared to how it was back in the day. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do. Just saying I suppose it's a bit different. That's kind of how things change. Before we quickly move on, I head down to the comments. If you're new, make sure you please enjoy the video, first of all. Drop a like on it. Honestly, all the engagement that you can give. Drop liking the video, sharing the video on Facebook, sending in your super chats. They all support the channel and help the channel grow bigger and better. And therefore, the content gets better for you. So it's a win-win. So please, as always, keep firing in comments. Keep firing in your super chats as well. And let me quickly go to what I'm going to do, by the way. And I've kind of noticed I'm doing it a little bit too much. I'm going to restrict the amount of times I go to the map during the live stream because quite a few people have been fairly complaining about it because the map's just got a bit too much screen time. But let me head down to the comments now and see. Look, like Rashi fan here. You're watching from Kirkenes in Norway. You can go on the map, my friend. Kirkenes. No, not Kirkenes. In Norway. Wicked. Thank you very much, Rashi fan. Make sure, my friend, you're subscribed and drop a like on the video because you're now on the map. You're part of the family. Where else we got here? Guatemala City. Hello, Bernie. How you doing, my friend? Watching from Guatemala City in Guatemala. Wicked. Guatemala City, you on the map? No. Guatemala. Right, okay. But Guatemala, thank you very much, Bernie. As I said just before there, make sure you've liked the video. Make sure you subscribed as well. And we go for one more here before we move back to the news. There you go. We've got Prosper watching from Ndola in Zambia over on Facebook. Wicked. Good morning to you, Prosper. Thank you very much for joining in from Zambia. Wicked. Right, let's add it back to the map. Please, everyone, keep firing in the comments. Keep firing in your super chats, as always. As I said, it all supports the channel and it all helps the channel get bigger. But Raphael Varane, man, this is when I'm really starting to get excited about it because everything is ready. Everything is ready for Manchester United to put that bid in, and 40 to 45 million for Varane is such a reasonable, cheap price. Remember, it's not as if we're signing someone like Sergio Ramos, who's 36 or however old. He's bloody old. Raphael Varane is 28. Technically, he's in the prime of his career. The next 2 years of his career as a defender should be his best 2 years, which is going to be some going, given that he's already won 4 Champions Leagues and a World Cup and the Liga title as well. Raphael Varane is an elite, world-class, top-level, ready centre-back. And that's just that. Honestly, I can't really get my head around it in the idea that maybe our defence is going to be Harry Maguire and Raphael Varane, because look at what's happened between Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic. Man United have been starved of any sort of consistency. We've had to go through the merry-go-round of Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Daley Blind, Marcus Rojo, Axel Tuanzebe, Paddy McNair, Tyler Blackett. The list is long. The list is pretty bad. And Manchester United just have not had a good enough partnership at centre-back to really sustain any sort of title push. The closest we got was when we finished second under Mourinho, or second last year under Solskjaer. Probably last year was closer under Solskjaer because we got absolutely pumped in that year under Mourinho. Might have finished second, but we were nowhere near. Under Solskjaer, we were top, and our asses fell out, and the quality wasn't there at that point in time. But someone like Raphael Varane is a bit of a game-changing signing, a massive game-changing signing. And I would say that in the same way that Jadon Sancho coming in, because for United to go out this summer and sign two, I would argue, world-class players, both of them. I know the phrase world-class is thrown around quite a lot, but someone like Raphael Varane really is world-class. You can't argue with his CV. You can't argue what he did at Real Madrid and how important he was there alongside Sergio Ramos at the back when they were going through their successful years. He was a rock and part of that. He was part of that World Cup campaign, and he's an absolute born winner. And again, that mentality, that's a big frustration I had about England losing the Euro 2020 final. I wanted Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, all to come back to Manchester United. Winners. Absolute winners. But they've come back with pain in their hearts from obviously the ridiculous and downright fucking horrible abuse that Rashford and Sancho received, and Maguire. He could have been. Look, let's not talk about what could have been. Let's talk about what could be, and that's Raphael Varane coming in alongside Harry Maguire, and that partnership there would easily be the best partnership we've had since Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic, and it could build itself into being the best centre-back partnership that the Premier League has. And that's not me over-exaggerating. I think Harry Maguire, he showed people in Euro 2020 that he's overly criticised as a Manchester United player. He was absolutely fantastic when he came back into that team for England. He was dominant. He led by example. He was just fucking brilliant. And he has been largely very, very good for Manchester United last season anyway. You just get frustrated when his weaknesses get exposed. And I think that's down to not just him. It's down to the players he's playing alongside. It's down to a lot of things. And bringing Varane in, that's how you're going to get the best out of Maguire. You saw it playing alongside John Stones every game for England. Maguire was a different sort of player, making those sort of bursting runs out from the back that he always did at Leicester that I don't think he's done enough of at Manchester United. But that can improve. That can get better. And someone like Raphael Varane coming in, hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. So from Spain last night, on the Cerro El Transistor saying an agreement is imminent. And then Fabrizio Romano weighing in with the big one saying, look, the official bid is coming in. They've had 4 days of talks. Cool. Man United have made the proposal. Wicked. He's accepted it. 2026. Done. He wants to join Manchester United. He wants to move to the Premier League, and he will accept if Real Madrid and Manchester United can agree on a price. Now, you let me know in the comments now. I've already done this before, but I like doing this. You let me know the exact price you think this is going to go down to. What price do you think Manchester United can go to Real Madrid with for Varane and say, look, we're willing to offer you 40 million, 45, 50. Give me an exact figure you think that Real Madrid will accept for Raphael Varane. Because on paper, a player of Varane's quality, a player of Varane's age, a player of Varane's experience, he shouldn't be going for between 40 and 50 million pounds. That's down to Real Madrid failing on their contract situation. A bit like what Manchester United are doing at the moment with Paul Pogba. If Paul Pogba leaves this summer, it will be undervalued, underpriced because of the fact that he's only got 1 year left on his contract. And that comes down to a mistake from Manchester United. We seem to give players like Phil Jones and, I don't know, Marcus Rojo was a ridiculous one. Seem to give the wrong players long contracts, and we let the right players' contracts run out. It is what it is. But let me see in the comments here. Let me see the exact figure that you think Raphael Varane will go for. Let me head. There are a ton of them coming in. So make sure you're all liking the video, subscribe, share it, do all that jazz. Send in your super chats as well. We've got Mohammed Imam. You're saying 55 million on Facebook. Danny, you're saying 50 on YouTube. Izzo, you're saying 45. Mike, you're saying 42.5. Joel, 40. Ash, you're saying 48. Damade, you're saying 50 plus add-ons. I tell you what, there's lots and lots of you watching, and there's lots of variety in the price. But in and around, like Mark Scarborough there, I think we could get him 50 million, and that would be a bargain. You know, look, it would be an utter bargain, my friend. It really, really would. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. for me, I've said it so often, ladies and gents. You know how much I feel a central defensive midfielder is actually the more important signing that we need to make this summer. But centre back is equally as important. Jadon Sancho for me was not the priority signing. Right wing is a position that's now been strengthened, and it's wicked. And United are going to be better for it. But it's not the position that's really going to be changing how Manchester United are next season. Because our problems last season were not scoring goals. We scored so many goals, constant goals. Our problem was not conceding. So many times last season, it was brilliant for United, but so often we had to come from behind because our defense was not very good at holding it. We were conceding goals left, right, and center. It's just that our attack was so good that we got ourselves out of the hole so often. So that needs to change. And that's where someone like Raphael Varane comes in. And all of a sudden, I've said it before, that back four, that back five, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Raphael Varane, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka with either Henderson or De Gea, that is an outstanding back five that you really can build a title push on, that you can compete in the Champions League for. And Varane's going to bring that experience in the Champions League, and that is crucial. That's a crucial aspect as to why he can be a fantastic signing. But look, as Fabrizio Romano says here, look, man, terms are agreed. The contract's already done. He wants to move. Just get that bid in now, United. Get that bid in. As we're seeing from the comments here, we're all agreeing here. Between 40 and 50 is clearly the price. And I'll be honest. I mean, I'll be honest. It's not my money, so I would always say just go in with the bid that Real Madrid want, get it done. United probably won't do that. And the fact that they've only got 1 year left on Varane's contract means United will use that as a sort of... United have the upper hand in these negotiations. They know that Real Madrid need to sell. They know that Real Madrid need money this summer. They know that Raphael Varane's only got 1 year left on his contract. They know now that Raphael Varane wants to join Manchester United, wants to join the Premier League, and will agree to the contract we've already agreed. So basically, United have all the cards in this negotiation. And that's why we're probably going to try and squeeze it out like we did with Jadon Sancho. We're probably going to go in with a 40 billion? Maybe not. We're probably going to go in with a 40 million bid to begin with. And then we're probably going to negotiate up towards, I reckon we'll go, my guess is somewhere between 40 and 45, probably the higher end, like 44. Maybe there'll be add-ons according to whether Varane is successful or not, or appearances. I don't know. But I think United, because we hold all the cards in this negotiation, I think we're probably going to go in quite cheap and see what happens. That's what I think anyway. Got David Hassett saying, hey guys, how do you super chat on YouTube? You can't super chat on YouTube before, unfortunately, David. That's just for me shouting that out to all the YouTubers. But what are we doing on Facebook soon is I'll be launching a membership. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be less than the price of a pint a month. And all you can do, if you sign up to that, you'll really support the channel, massively support the channel, because it will help me make more content. And I will make more content for stuff like this. I'll be doing more of these as well. Let me get this quickly. If you didn't see it yesterday, let me pull it up for you again now. I am doing a giveaway, a Discord giveaway. To join our Discord server, you get, look at that, a lovely box, a lovely pack of stickers. Oh, no, don't let me drop that. You get a lovely badge. Look at that. It's a really happy bear, Discord bear. And also a Discord, where's the hood? There he is. A Discord hoodie. That's for somebody to win. And to enter is extremely, extremely simple. All you've got to do is join our Discord. I will leave you a link in the description right now for you to join our Discord. You go in there and there's a giveaway channel. In that giveaway channel, there is a post from me. On that post, all you've got to do is drop a thumbs up reaction. I'm going to choose a winner by 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'll send it out to you. I want to be doing more giveaways like this. So make sure you check the comments. I've sent it in now. There's a comment from me to the Discord server. Head over there. There's already 3,000 of us on there. And the reason the Discord is so cool is because there's a huge community on Facebook. There's a huge community on YouTube. Discord is a place where both of those can be brought together into one big community. So make sure you head over there and join in. Got a comment here from Devraj saying, what about Camavinga? That's handy, because I think I was going to talk about Camavinga next. Heading over to the Athletic, they've got an update on Varane, which I've already run through all about that. But let's speak about Camavinga. And I'll tell you what, it's gone very quiet with Camavinga, hasn't it? Camavinga, at one point, it seemed like Manchester United were just leading the race for him. It was going to be an easy deal that we were going to get done. Boom, boom. Let's move on. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Camavinga. This is what Ornstein's saying. The Athletic revealed in April that Camavinga will not be signing a new contract with Rennes. Rennes will prefer a fee to losing him for nothing, but the club have extremely wealthy owners and will only sell at the right price. Man United are one of the clubs who are interested in signing him, saying that we scouted him for a couple of years, and we've talked about that before. Remember, I was saying that United scouted Camavinga and we scouted Hannibal Mejbri, and we went for Hannibal instead of Camavinga. Given how good Hannibal looks, I understand that. It's a shame we didn't get Camavinga at the same time, though. But it's saying, but as with Varane, Manchester United are likely to be patient in the hope the price will go down at the end of the window. That's such a United sentence, isn't it? That sentence there is so Manchester United in a transfer window. We would rather wait. We would rather delay a transfer in the hope that we can get a few million off it and then just move on. Simple as that. I don't really think that's the right thing to do. I would rather see Manchester United go in with 30 million now and get the deal done. 30 million for an 18-year-old who has the prospect of becoming an absolutely elite level footballer is not an insane amount of money. We spent more than that on Anthony Martial, didn't we? So it's not as if we haven't done it from Ligue 1 before. But that's the update on Eduardo Camavinga. There's a couple of updates here. Let's speak about Paul Pogba. I haven't actually read this yet, so we're reading this at the same time. Speaking about Pogba emerging from the Euros, good fee, blah, blah, blah. 1, sign fresh terms. 2, wait for his deal to expire. Or 3, move for a fee this summer. We've already spoken about that. That's the options that Paul Pogba has now. It is expected that discussions will continue into the new season if Pogba does not depart before, in a similar manner to David De Gea's last contract. Sources believe Pogba is open to staying less than a year on from his agent Minariola, saying his time at Old Trafford was over. He is set to survey the scene first. Juve and Real Madrid are keeping track of his developments, but are financially hamstrung at this stage. I don't think the Real Madrid are going to be affording Paul Pogba anytime soon. I don't think you do either. They're skint. They're trying to sell Raphael Varane to make money this summer, let alone going out and spending. How much will Paul Pogba? I don't know how much Paul Pogba will cost this summer. More than 50. I mean, we paid 80 to 90 million for him, but given the fact he's only got 1 year left on his deal, United are hamstrung in the fact that we've lost a bit of negotiations power with Paul Pogba in the same way that Real Madrid have lost their negotiation power with Raphael Varane. That's what happens when you let players, elite level players, you let their contracts run down. It's a problem for those clubs. It's a real problem. Make sure, as always, throughout the stream, if you are joining in, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you're enjoying it. Please drop a like on the video. Please send in your comments. Please send in your super chats on YouTube if you would. Everything you do to engage with the video will support the channel, will support the videos and make them bigger and better. And therefore, the content will get bigger and better and there'll be more of it. And that's what we want, ladies and gents, isn't it? Let's see some of the comments here. We've got Shamar saying, Manchester United have the money, so we should go ahead and sign the players we need. You know, of course we do, but it's Manchester United, isn't it? Manchester United seem and tend to do this. We tend to try and squeeze deals. We tend to try and make it as cheap as possible. But 1 second there. Yeah, sorry. It is what it is. Manchester United do this in the transfer market. We've seen it so often and we'll continue to see it. We would rather, as fans for Manchester, to see Manchester United going in, getting it done, get the player in, sweet. And I suppose we've done that with Jadon Sancho this summer. We've given Sancho what he wanted. We already agreed those last year. We gave Dortmund, more importantly, what they wanted. We got the deal done. Although, I'll be honest, I'm sitting here waiting. Exactly there. George, is Steven Spielberg directing this announcement video for Sancho? I don't know what United are doing with this Sancho announcement video, but it should have happened a couple of days ago. It should have happened. And I don't know why. I don't know what this announcement video is. Is it going to be a 3-part documentary series? Sod knows. But Manchester United are taking their sweet time over announcing Sancho officially. It should already really have been done by now, but it hasn't been. Frustrating. Fikran there saying, my thoughts on Hannibal. Hey, Hannibal's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the preseason. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do next year. It's clear for me that he is a level above that age group, but there's such a huge gap between the under-23s and the first team. There really is such a huge gap That's why it's always difficult. And maybe at that point, you would say a good loan spell would do Hannibal very well. And maybe it would. An interesting one that I've seen develop over the last couple of days, Alex Telles has been linked to Roma, and he's also now being linked with Inter Milan. Damasio, remember Damasio, the old school OG? I think Fabrizio Romano used to be somebody who worked with Damasio, just basically the apprentice became the master. And then Damasio sort of disappeared. Anyway, Alex Telles. Damasio saying that Inter Milan are also interested in signing him. The formula to bring him to Inter would be that of a loan, and the player would gladly return to the Nerazzurri. Look, you let me know what you think about that. Would you let Alex Telles go this summer? Or do you think we should be keeping him? Obviously, Luke Shaw dominated last year. Absolutely dominated. Alex Telles didn't get a sniff because Luke Shaw was so good. But at the same time, do you think that Luke Shaw's surge and rise was in part due to the fact that we signed Alex Telles, a competitive, top-level left-back with experience in the Champions League with Porto? Do you think the fact that he arrived sort of lit a fire underneath Luke Shaw and sort of showed him that he needed to improve, needed to get better? Was that part of it? You let me know what you think in the comments there. We've got a comment here. Thank you very much, Halua. First super chat today. Big up to you, my friend, saying, what about the youngsters? Which players do you like? Any chance of them getting into the first team this year? Like Hannibal, maybe. As I said, Hannibal is someone I really, really do like. I think Hannibal is he's got craft, he's got guile, he's got style. He looks... I remember watching Paul Pogba when he was with the under-18s, with the youth teams, in the FA Youth Cup, when he was playing with like Will Keane, Ravel Morrison. You watch certain players and you realize that certain players are just better than that level. It's too easy for them. It really is. I was surprised with how quickly Rashford took to first team football, for example. As exciting as he was, he didn't have, I mean, he was very exciting, but his transition to the first team was just brilliant because of 2 goals against Midtjylland and 2 goals against Arsenal. One of my favourite Old Traffords I've been to in recent years was that game against Arsenal. But Hannibal is probably the one I would say I'm looking forward to the most from the youth team at the moment. Got a comment here from Andy Bill. Big up to you, Andy. Thank you very much. Saying people have to calm down about Telles. We're actually building a proper squad. And I'll be honest, I agree with you there, Andy. I don't think that we should be even considering letting Alex Telles go. Alex Telles, for me, is exactly that. A good squad player. And this season, we have to remember, right? We might be playing, I don't know, Spurs on a Sunday, and then Inter Milan on a Wednesday, and then Liverpool on a Saturday. 3 games in 7 days, 3 ridiculously hard games in 7 days. And you need elite level players to come in and come out. And a big problem for United at the moment is the shift between that first 11 and the second 11. There's a huge drop-off. In the start, it basically looks like 2 different teams completely, because the second team is just not capable of playing the same sort of football that the first team plays. So the style of play that United have changes between that first 11 and the second 11. That doesn't happen at City. It doesn't happen at Liverpool. It doesn't happen at the top teams. When you have a squad that's quality, you can take players in and out, and the style of the football remains the same because the level of players remains high. And that's why we need to keep players like Alex Telles in the squad. So I completely agree with you, Andy, and I completely agree with the majority of the comments as well. Comment here coming in from Larks. Thank you very much, Larks, saying James Garner should get a chance in the first team. Now, James Garner, obviously, he impressed out on loan last season, Nottingham Forest. And for me, he'll get a chance in the preseason. I said it in the last live stream. Because there are so many first-team players missing, there's an even bigger opportunity for the youngsters to really impress. They're going to have more focus from the coaches, more eyes on them. So they have to use that opportunity. James Garner, there's no doubt the opportunity is there. And there's no doubt that United need more bodies in central midfield, central to defensive midfield. We've got look at our more attacking midfield options. We've already got Paul Pogba. We've already got Bruno. We've already got Donny van de Beek. You can put Fred in that box as well. And I suppose that's why it's going to be difficult in that sense for someone like Hannibal to break through into the first team this year. But when you look at a position like James Garner, more of a holding style central midfielder, we're desperate for it. We're absolutely desperate. And if United don't get one, we're going to have to see whether Scott McTominay, I think, can do it, because I think that's what's going to probably happen. Anuj here with a super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Just joined. So excited to hear about Varane. I think United will announce Sancho and Varane together. Now the board should put the money together into a defensive midfielder. I'll be honest, I don't think that United are going to do anything like announce Sancho and Varane together, because United will want to milk it as much as possible. That's why we haven't. That's why we haven't announced Sancho yet, because we haven't. We haven't got enough promotional material out yet. That's the issue. United want to milk it as much as possible, and that's why I haven't announced it yet. And that's why we definitely won't do both together. Got Ennis watching on YouTube saying, "Oh, you started earlier." I did start early, my friend. I got excited. That's what happens when you see all these good updates about Raphael Varane. What I'll quickly do, actually, before I head on, is I'll head back and I'll do a quick update for anybody who's new and you haven't been watching. A quick 30-second roundup. Make sure you please drop a like on the video, subscribe on YouTube, share it on Facebook, send in your comments, send in your super chats, anything you can do to support the channel. Let's all do it together. But let's do a quick roundup of exactly this story today with Raphael Varane and why we're getting excited. 30-second roundup for anybody who hasn't watched it. United, the bid for Varane is imminent. The player wants to move. Came from last night from El Transistor out in Spain, the Spanish radio station, saying the agreement is imminent for around 50 million euros. And we had a discussion about the price. And I probably think 43 is in and around what United are going to offer first. And then Fabrizio Romano jumped in. He said, Man United preparing the official bid after talking with him for 4 days. Man United made him a contract proposal until 2026. 5-year contract. Varane wants the Premier League experience. He will accept if United and Real Madrid can get that fee agreed. So we've done all the complicated part now. I say that. I mean, in a sense, the more complicated part is agreeing the personal terms and all the ins and outs of that. Now we need to agree the fee with Real Madrid. We've already had a discussion in the comments. We all agree it's going to be between 40 and 50 million. My gut tells me it's probably going to be United going in for about 40 million with the first bid, because we have all the cards in the negotiation table process here. I completely combine those two things. We've got Varane on 1 year left on his contract. That's advantage to United. We've got him already agreeing terms with us. He wants to move. Advantage to United. We know the Real Madrid need to sell. Advantage to Manchester United. So that's why I think United will probably go in quite low for a first bid. And I think we'll probably negotiate up to somewhere between 40 and 45. That's what my gut is telling me, but that's just me guessing. Got Reds Gaming here. Thank you very much for the comment, my friend, saying, love the show. Do match previews this season. Don't worry, my friend. I am working on that. Going to be building in, as I said, memberships on YouTube, memberships on Facebook to bring new content, bigger content. Going to be launching a podcast. Going to be launching new shows. To keep supporting the channel any way you can. Any money that comes in, it's going to be put straight back into making the channel bigger and better. Like that £2 there coming in from Daniel Carpenter. It's an empty comment, but thank you very much, my friend Daniel. Tell you what, quickly before we head on, as I said before, I'm going to head to the map only a couple of times during the stream now, because fair enough, people are saying that I'm on the bloody map too much. But I like the map. It's exciting. We've got Konstantinos watching from Kavala in Greece, though. I see your comment on YouTube, my friend. Thank you very much for joining in. Kavala in Greece. Wicked. Konstantinos, you're on the map, my friend. Make sure you drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and make sure you subscribe. Look at that. Where's that? Mervyn watching from Devonshire, Bermuda. Now that is going on a map. Devonshire. There's a place called Devonshire in Bermuda. That's hilarious. Bermuda's on the map. Big up to you, Mervyn. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, my friend. Get involved. We'll have one more onto the map here quickly before we move on and we keep talking about everything that's happening, because it's all exciting. Got David watching from Thailand. I'm not sure we've got anyone from Thailand yet. On you go, my friend. Hwahin from Thailand. I've been to Thailand twice. Love the place. Went in 2008. Went in 2012, I think, as well. Awesome place. Would love to go back. I'm sure it's still great. But honestly, there's so many of you that keep commenting, that keep getting involved. It's so much fun doing these shows. It's so much fun engaging. And I know I keep saying it, but I do enjoy it. And I'll fire it into the comment there. You saw me giving the Discord hoodie here. I'll show you one more time. This is the giveaway we're doing at the moment. Looks like a pizza box. Discord hoodie, Discord badge, Discord badges, and stickers. All you got to do is follow that link, which I've left in there. Head to our Discord. There's thousands of us on there. We chat every single day about Manchester United. Lots of debates. It's a place where we can extend the community and making that a little bit stronger, bringing Facebook and YouTube together. So make sure you head over there. Make sure you join in. But let's keep talking, eh? We're in a good mood. It's Saturday. Let's head over here and let's get, because tomorrow, obviously, pre-season kicks off. Jesse Lingard's back in training there. Who else we got in this gallery? We've got Will Fish there with Axel Tuanzebe and Andreas Pereira's alive. Nemanja Matic. I hope that Man United don't really use Matic that much this season, if I'm being completely honest. Matic is, when Matic is good, he's still good, but Matic is not good enough now to be playing this defensive midfield role every single week for Man United. I don't know whether Scott McTominay is good enough either, but we need someone who plays that role has to be mobile. It's crucial that that defensive midfielder is mobile. You watch someone like Wilfred Ndidi play, he doesn't stand still. He's a constant thorn in the side of teams and players and squeezing the space and squeezing the gaps. That's just not something that Nemanja Matic can do much anymore. Got Alex Telles there with Facundo Ballestri. I think he's going to be going back out on loan to Deportivo Alaves. Remember, United tried to sell him being a first-team signing last summer. Or was it last January? They lied. But anyway, he needs another loan spell. Got Mason there with Dishon Bernard. Who are these? Dylan Levitt. Obviously, he went to the Euros with Wales. Axel and Aaron there. Look at it. There's the big man himself. Looking good. I tell you what. Didn't he prove people wrong last year? Didn't he prove people? He proved me wrong. I had to apologize, and I'll happily apologize every single year. He's so good. He's improved so much. I can't wait to see what happens this year. Comment here from Victorim. OG, thank you very much. Is it Mel? I think you're in Melbourne. I know you're out in Oz. Did you see Man United have entered the race with Liverpool and Spurs for Houssem Ouah from Lyon, 23-year-old? Now, obviously, the reason that we're getting linked with, I'm going to go Houssem. I'm going to go Houssem. The reason we're linked with him is because Manchester United might be losing Paul Pogba this summer. And we're going to be linked with plenty of players like that who could come in if we let Pogba go. My own personal opinion is I don't really think we're going to be letting Paul Pogba go this summer. I think we're going to be trying everything within our power to get Paul Pogba to sign a new contract. And I think we're going to take the risk of losing him on a free rather than selling him this summer. Simply because you can't say, and it's something that we've all, tons of you have said in the comments, and I agree with you. You can't be looking to build a title-winning team and selling a player like Paul Pogba in the same summer. It doesn't make any sense. You can't let the best players go if you're really genuinely intending on building a title-winning team. It's like taking one step forward and another step backwards. What United need to do now is build the squad in every single area. We know where the weaknesses are. Centre-back and central defensive midfield. For me, central defensive midfield, I've said it all along and I'll keep saying it, it is the biggest problem. The biggest problem we have is in defensive midfield. But whether that changes or not, I don't know. I think it should, and I think it's a massive oversight from United if we don't. But let's see what happens. Let's quickly look back through a few more pictures. There's the man himself, Hannibal. Excited to see what he does in pre-season. Will he play against Derby on Sunday? He probably will. Tenen Mengi there. Kieran McKenna, Shola, and James Garner. See what he does. Anthony Elanga, I tell you what, he's been looking like he's big and getting big this summer. Joe Hugel, if you don't know who Joe Hugel is, he is an absolute goal-scoring sensation with the under-18s. Let's see what happens with him this year, but I'm hoping he's going to push up into the under-23s and get a chance because he looks very much far too good for under-18s. Got Brandon there with Darren, with Jesse. He's back at the club. I think Jesse Lingard deserves a move. He needs to get that loan spell, man. Jesse Lingard should not be staying at Manchester United next summer. It doesn't help him. It really doesn't. Jesse Lingard is good enough to be playing first-team football regularly elsewhere. And Manchester United need to make sure that we get the right money for him because we've got a player there. Jesse Lingard is a good asset. He's a player that we can actually make a good bit of money from. And I want to see United actually going and doing that. And that's really important that Man United go and actually get the player, get the money for Lingard and then invest that money. Because if you look at United over the years, I can't put any examples out of the top of my head right now, but we're crap at getting the right price for players. We have been for so long. And that has to change. It really, really has to change. Got a super chat coming in here from Fauzi. Big up to you, Fauzi. Watching from Seattle. How is it out in Seattle, my friend? Seattle's getting added onto the map. As I said, that's a guaranteed way to get yourself on this map, ladies and gents. Seattle. Boom. 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 Send me in a super chat with your comment and where you're watching it from, and I'll go straight to the map and I'll get you on the map. But Raphael Varane, we're all excited about it, ladies and gents. And for me, it just feels right. For quite a long time with Varane, I was reserved. I kind of shied away from it because I didn't really want to get sucked into a situation where I was watching Manchester United getting used again for a player that we were never going to sign, that just signed a contract extension with his club. That's what it felt like for a long time with Sergio Ramos. But the more this has developed, the more this really looks like Sergio Ramos. And that situation is not going to be repeated. Everything. It's not as if, like, and I've said this before on another stream, with situations like this, normally you get good news one day and bad news the next day. And then good news the day after, and then bad day the next. And it will just go up and down and up and down. You'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's happening again. But with Raphael Varane, day on day, week on week, the story's headed in the same direction the entire time. That Raphael Varane wants to leave Real Madrid. That Manchester United want him. And slowly but surely, it's just become more concrete and more serious. And it's closing in like that. And that, for me, is why it's so exciting now that we're seeing this situation with Raphael Varane developing in the way it is developing. And the longer it goes on in this style, the better it's going to be. Tell you what, we've got a super chat coming in here on YouTube from James. You're watching from Portsmouth, England. I love Portsmouth. Good night out in Portsmouth. Portsmouth, England. On you go, my friend. Make sure, James, you dropped a like on the video too, and make sure you subscribe, which I don't think you would have forgotten about. I'm sure you have already. But yeah, as I was explaining there, that for me is why I'm so excited about Raphael Varane, because the story has consistently been moving in the right direction, and it's just getting closer and closer. And we're now at the position where there's really no more news to have on Raphael Varane, apart from Manchester United putting the bid in. The terms are already agreed. The contract is already done. Varane wants to move. Every single bit of news coming out of France and Spain is all saying the same thing. Everything is pretty much boxed off now until Manchester United go in with that bid. And when we go in with that bid, that's when the transfer takes a turn. That's when it really kicks into the next gear. And that is what we're all excited for. And we've already had a discussion about how much we think that'll be. We all think it's going to be in between the region of 40 to 50 million. I completely agree with you. I think that 40 is probably going to be United's original bid. Look, we all know how negotiations work. It's not going to be United going in with 50 million straight away and giving Real Madrid what they want. It's going to be United going in with an offer that sort of tests the water, which is pretty much what you do. Look, if you go and buy a second-hand car and it's $3,000 on the window of the car, you're not going to offer $3,000 straight away, are you? You're going to say, how about 2.5? Knowing full well that you're willing to pay 2,750. But you're going to go in a bit lower. You're going to eke it up, and you're going to get the price you want. That's just the way it goes. It's just a bit more painful when you watch it as your football club trying to sign a player, because Manchester United, and we drag it all out. Got a comment here coming in from Emiliano, watching from Texas. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Texas, US of A. On you go. How you doing, Emiliano? What's the time out there? Damn, it must be early. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. But thank you very much for your super chat, my friend. Ah, man. It's wicked. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what's really annoying is I've got to go. Well, it's not annoying that I'm going to a wedding. Everyone likes wedding. Going to a wedding later today. I guarantee you, they announce Sancho while I'm there. And I can't do a live stream like this and get involved with all you ladies and gents in the comments, because I really enjoy the interaction that we all have. But yeah, Raphael Varane, it's exciting. Eduardo Camavinga, I'm a bit concerned about that one, because for me on paper, it looked like a very straightforward thing to do. Rennes had a player that they couldn't lose on a free transfer. Okay. Rennes had an 18-year-old who's running out, whose contract's running out, only 1 year left. Okay. 30 million. That's not a lot of money for a player who could be great straight away. Okay. It seemed very simple for Camavinga, but nothing's ever simple with Manchester United, is it? Absolutely not. And it seems like with Camavinga, we're tentatively waiting and seeing what happens with Camavinga before we go in with a bid for him. And if we do sign Camavinga, I think it's going to be more towards the end of the window, 31st of August, remember. is when the transfer window closes. The season starts on the 14th of August. So in an ideal world, Manchester United will get our major signings done before that. Jadon Sancho and Raphael Varane being those two main signings. I'll be honest, I want United to sign a defensive midfielder so badly. But my gut tells me we're not going to. My gut tells me if United were going to be signing a defensive midfielder, that we would have already done it. That's what my gut is saying to me. Fauzi, look, thank you very much for Super Chat. Big up to you, my friend. So it's almost 2 a.m. here. Stay up, my friend. Have a good night. But yeah, you're saying, do you see us getting a DM after Varane? If so, who can we go after? I mean, the list is quite easy. You know that Ndidi's there. You've got Sumer, who's obviously moved to Leicester. You've got Neves, who I really, really admire. You've got Zakaria, who obviously impressed. You've got, is it Cooper Means? There's quite a few. Actually, I think Cooper Means might be a centre back. I'm not sure. There's plenty around. It's not as if there's no centre defensive midfielders around, but it just doesn't seem like I haven't seen any sort of urgency for Manchester United to really go after a defensive midfielder, which strikes me as absolutely almost on the verge of ignorance from the club. But let's see. Got a comment here coming in from Mike Fisher. Good morning to you, Mike. Thank you very much. Watching all the way from the Philippines. Wicked, my friend. And what's it like out there? I bet it's bloody beautiful. You're asking, what's your question? Do you think United will announce Sancho and Varane together? I don't think so, Mike, if I'm being completely honest, because we know Manchester United and we know that we like to squeeze and drag things out as much as possible. Therefore, I don't really think that United will let the idea of two world-class signings coming out at the same time in the same announcement. Why would you do that when you can spread it out and you can get two huge announcements, one for Sancho and one for Varane? I don't think United are going to be doing both at the same time. And let's be honest, given the fact that the bid hasn't even gone in for Varane, I don't think this will be happening in the next week or two. I expect things to really start and keep developing as they have been developing this week. But I also don't think that we're going to be getting Manchester United announcing that a deal has been reached for Varane or Real Madrid announcing that a deal has been reached with United anytime soon. What's the date now? The 17th of July. So we've got what? Between 3 and 4 weeks before the season. No, just under 4 weeks. No, yeah, just under 4 weeks before the season kicks off against Leeds. Because Varane was in the Euros, he's now on a little bit of a holiday, which he should be. But terms are already agreed. That's all done. It's just please put the bid in, United. Please put the bid in. There's a comment here that distracted me from Fred saying the Glazers are waving their magic wand again. And surprise, surprise, they are slithering under the carpet and out of the headlines. It's what they do, Fred. But when it comes to Manchester United, what we need right now is signings. What we need is for this squad, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to have a better squad of players to compete for the Premier League and the Champions League next year. And this summer, as I've done it before, you've seen the video. I've shown you that video on the Glazers and the Glazers' strategy. Let me see if I can pull it up. The Glazers' strategy at Manchester United, and being the fact that you know what they do. You know exactly what they do. They, 1 second. The Glazers always invest a lot of money when we don't finish in the top four. And then when we do finish in the top four, they retract that spending. But it seems like things are changing a bit this year. And I want to see that from Manchester United. I really want to. And that pattern has to change. And I think it looks like that pattern is changing this summer. Maybe it's simply because the Glazers feel like they're backed against the wall and they have to do it because of everything that's gone on and the sentiment, the anti-Glazer sentiment that is so strong. New signings won't change that completely. It might divert the attention away, Fred. I think you're right. But I'll be honest, in the short term, what United need is new players. In the long term, what we need to do is get rid of the Glazers. And I don't think we're going to be getting rid of the Glazers unless they want to sell. I think that's really what strikes me as that's going to happen. I really wish that wasn't the case, but I really do think that is the case. Now, before I quickly head to the comments, to get you in the map one more time, make sure you let me know where you're watching it from and the town. Please drop a like on the video if you're watching on Facebook and share the stream as well. Do what you can to engage. If you're on YouTube, drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. There's a little button down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Get involved, man. This community is great. It's growing, and I want more of you involved in it. But let me head to the wonderful map and let me get someone back on here. Oh, look at that. Wow. Dr. Tommoy, you're watching from North Korea. Wow. You can go on the map, my friend, as long as I can find Pyongyang. Come Pyongyang. Here we go. Pyongyang. Right. Spelled that wrong. But the map got it. Pyongyang, you're on the map. Thank you very much, Dr. Tommoy. Make sure you subscribe if you are new in town. And let's get a couple more of you added onto this map. Like Ossie, watching from Narvik in Norway. Thank you very much, Ossie. Make sure you subscribe, my friend. And thank you very much for your comment this morning. Hope you're having a great time out in Norway. I really, really want to go Norway. Want to go visit the fjords. I think it will be beautiful. Really, really do. Let's see what else we've got here. Got Idunu watching from Brooklyn in NYC. You can go on the map, my friend. Never been to America yet. Just never have, really. I'm sure at some point I will. Let's have a quick zoom out on the map. Let's see how the map is shaping up now. There's 145 points from all around the world on this map. I'm really, really glad I started it. And I understand a few of you might have been getting annoyed that I was going to the map too much. I'm sorry. I just got too excited. But look at that all around the world, man. Wow, wow, wow. It's beautiful to watch. I really enjoy it. But thank you very much for all your comments today. Nearly 2,000 likes on Facebook as we're watching. Big up. If you're new and you're here and you've enjoyed the stream, please think about subscribing. Get involved in the community. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all. As I said, the super chats that you all send me on YouTube, it's all going to get invested back into the channel because I want to make it bigger and better. And look, quite soon I'll be launching memberships on both Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook right now, they've demonetized the whole page. And I don't know why, but it's really hurting me and it's unfair. And hopefully a way to get around that will be to launch a membership. It's going to be cheaper than the price of a pint per month. And it will really, really help the channel. So hopefully you can get involved in that. Like Victorium, thank you very much for super chat, my friend, saying, let's say Sancho, Varane and Trippier come in and United don't get a CDM and Ole is changing the formation to a 4-3-3. I think he will place McTominay as a central defensive midfielder. I think you're absolutely right. We spoke about this in yesterday's stream, didn't we? I was saying out of all the players that we've got in that squad, I would say McTominay for me strikes me as the player who is probably more suited to actually being successful in that central defensive midfield role on his own. I don't want to see Matic playing there in the long term. Fred can't play there. Could James Garner play there? Sure, he could play there, but you just don't know. Out of all the players, I'd probably say that it's Scott McTominay. And I think you're right, Victor. Out of all the players we have in that squad, if we're not going to sign a defensive midfielder, I think it's a case that we are going to probably put Scott McTominay there. Let's have a look here. Gerard, watching from Cork in Republic of Ireland. Thank you very much, my friend. Let me get you added onto the map. And let's have a look at your question as well. What are your thoughts on Jamie O'Hara saying Stones is better than Varane? Now, John Stones, let's be honest, he was crap with City for a while. He really, really was. But I think he's massively improved. He really, really has improved. Cork in the Republic of Ireland. Why is that not coming up? Cork in Ireland, yeah, County Cork. Thank you very much for your comment, my friend Gerard. If you're new, because I haven't seen your name around before, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you get involved. I'll be honest, I don't give a fuck what Jamie O'Hara is saying. Sorry for being rude. I don't care what he's saying. He can have his own opinion. Opinions are great. Opinions can't be wrong. That's the beauty of an opinion. You might disagree with it, but it can't be right or wrong. I disagree. I would say that Raphael Varane is just on a different level. John Stones has been excellent at City. Obviously, being coached by Pep has helped him massively. But I personally think that Raphael Varane is on a different level to most centre-backs in the world. Got Vink here with a comment watching from Denmark, Kongens Lyngby. I don't know how in the world I'm going to spell that. Let's have a look. Kongens. There we go. That's exactly how I spell it. You're on the map, my friend. Thank you very much for your super chat. Keep supporting the channel. Keep doing whatever you can, everybody. But look, as I said, Jamie O'Hara is entitled to his opinion. I just disagree with it. Got a comment here coming in from Chandarit saying, let's get Kante in, 100 mil, it's the title. I mean, you're probably not wrong. N'Golo Kante is the best in the world at his position. And the fact that Frank Lampard tried to play him out of position is absolutely mental. but that's because he got sacked and he was crap manager. Remember when people were saying that Lampard was going to be better than Solskjaer? That worked out very well. But Raphael Varane, as you can see from the title, as you've seen from this stream, which has been great. Thank you all for engaging throughout this whole stream. Keep dropping your likes. Keep doing everything you can to support the channel. It does genuinely help. I know I go on about it quite a few times in the stream, but I do mean it. It does all help. But Varane, I'm excited. Let's see what happens across the course of the weekend. Hopefully, Sancho gets announced in the next 4 hours so I can come back here and do another stream with you before I got head off to the wedding. Probably won't happen. Probably won't get Sancho announced till next week because United like dragging it out. But I hope you all enjoyed the live stream today. Plenty of you have engaged. So many of you sent your comments and your super chats in. Make sure you keep subscribing, dropping likes on the video, sharing, doing whatever you can. I'll be back maybe later on if United announce Sancho. But thank you very much for tuning in today. And I tell you what, I really do genuinely think it's time to start getting excited about Raphael Varane to Manchester United. All the terms are agreed. The contract is agreed. Now we're going to see United going in with a bid. Let's see when that happens and how much it will be. But thank you very much for joining in. Until next time.